Bing. It's Michael, Matt. Well, 15 minutes before the scrum, I had this idea, crazy idea of like running this and like running the scrum through this and having the two things. And then I got half an hour after the scrum before a sponsor meeting. But anyway, so Matt and I have been working on not this, I saw actually a charity is advertising for a Rails developer. I was thinking I might apply for it and then, but say, hey, why don't you let us, build it for you for Azure Ventures? Anyway, that's like Stack Overflow. Be inspired. This is a volunteering charity in London, so that's anyway. Good God, stay on target, Sam. So what have we managed to do? We've managed to do a round trip, haven't we, Matt? We've managed to do a round trip whereby, so with this custom built form here for PayPal using the PayPal sandbox, we can get back a post which brings us back our item number. So that is some kind of progress. I think we had defined the next step as being trying to see if this, well, at least experimenting with this button for live payment, because there's something about the flow of this that I'm a bit suspicious of, that it seems like it might be requiring the user to kind of, what's the word, press a button before it actually redirects back to the site, which introduces the possibility that people will just fail to do that. So
can't we try that without promoting the code? Can't we just run it from here?
I think we can. Well, we can. The thing that you were saying, Matt, is you were saying that potentially it will, on the live system, it would behave differently. So we kind of we probably want to just like, we can check because we've got like a 7-day free trial on the front of the thing. I can, in principle, just update this, and I guess I'll just do these. It serves the important purpose of checking that. Oh God, what is it? That this form works with the live system. So this is our custom form that we've got here that generates a button. And so if I reload this page, this will now be a live button. And so if I open that in a new window, so this now, right, this is the live site.
To pay for user 123, right?
Yeah. The link you have used to enter the PayPal system is invalid. Please review the link and try again. So there's something wrong. So, well, and it may be here, right, that it needs to be PayPal objects here. So that's the only other difference from the form that actually, like this button previously would work. So let's try that again. There. Okay. But okay. Okay. So the problem there, I actually saw the other thing as well. So the other thing it has to change is that's sort of, well, yeah. So that facilitator one, email identifies the sandbox account. So we need that there. Okay. And then, so I guess I need to log in with one of my other PayPal accounts. Otherwise it gets a bit incestuous, but so this is the actual sequence that someone would go through. Okay. You can send this payment instantly. I'm paying by e-check. Yes. Okay. Well, that's. I'm going to cancel it anyway. Effective date 19th December. So this is this. I don't know. It's just. I should have taken a screenshot of that other element as well. Or we'll have it in the video recording of this. So if I say agree here, then that, yeah. So as I suspected,
Does do like you said. Yeah.
Yeah, like someone would need to then click this before they get redirected to, like, I'm assuming this is going to redirect to the local server. Which one we've got a debugger on. Aha, okay. But so yeah, we can see it has, we've got the params, continue. Yeah, I mean, I guess we should ensure that, yeah, I mean, we would be very surprised if we didn't get the item number. We get the item number there. Yeah. So, and then that's just like a, we set that up as a posting. So that's kind of, I'm almost like that's kind of a blocker for this.
What's the problem? You don't like it?
Well, I think we can clearly do this, but it seems to me that the majority of people are probably not going to click that. Maybe I don't know. Like it.
Put a little message below it. It says when you're done paying, click on return. I don't know.
Well, it kind of gives them an option, right? It gives them an option either to return or to continue and browse their PayPal account.
Right.
So there's no.
I mean, all the PayPal sites that I see, they may be using the API.
Right.
Just redirect you back to their site
automatically. Yeah, and I think that's this thing. They have an express checkout thing that I think would do just that.
Yeah. Since the result is they just get a couple an email, maybe it's good enough for now because they don't need to go back to the AV site for anything.
They don't, but we'd like them to, so that we get that information. I mean, it's an interesting question there about whether we, like, I guess what I will look for now as well is, do I have, like, if I look, I'm looking at a different, I mean, I've set up this payment profile. I mean, if even at least, like, I mean, I'm sort of thinking about the context of, we want to be able to have the user, I mean, the key thing we're moving towards is allowing the PayPal payer to sponsor another user. And I guess ultimately we can do that all manually, but we want a way for the sponsor person to be able to specify this is the user that we actually want to sponsor. And if we kind of lose that information, I mean, maybe I can now go into let me find a different browser, and I go into the browser for, go in here, and then do I have to go to, I mean, I'm partly doing a different browser here because I just logged in with the Tansaku one over there. I've got PayPal. Right, that's the password for this one. So we've got this. I just realized I'm like sharing like my PayPal balance and like who's already signed up. But okay, so let's have a look at this information. So this is the information that, so that, pass-through data is not sort of like, it's not recorded. Actually, I think when I'm reading the docs, it explicitly says it doesn't record that data. This is the it's item number there, pass-through variable here, and I think I'm reading about.
It must get passed back immediately, right? I mean, it doesn't wait until you click that continue.
Well, I haven't got any evidence of it coming back unless we click that continue.
I'm surprised because, you have to get it back or else you can't track.
Well, that's right. Well, and also, I mean, it's saying there about, I mean, I guess we've got optional track profit and loss stuff for different numbers, but it's all getting a bit, it's getting a bit pained. I mean, see, we've got. I can see that there's kind of two immediate paths. Like if we want to, kind of go with this approach, like we currently got deployed a thing with a custom button that doesn't return after the user does it. And I mean, the interesting thing about that one as well there is I got probably this is okay. So this is the email that I've got for me about having me set up for it. And I don't have any information there about that. Like if this was me trying to sponsor user 123, I would have lost that information and I would have to reach out to that individual and say, who do you want to sponsor? And I guess I wonder, is it a complete red herring? I mean, maybe is the key thing here just to have maybe we should realistically always be reaching out to the user to say, who did you want to sponsor? Did you want to sponsor a specific user? Did you want to sponsor, just generally and let us choose who does it? And in fact, because we could be saying, we could set this all up.
I think if you get an item number back, then you can assume that they're sponsoring a specific user.
Oh, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, I think from my examination of the flow there, we're not guaranteed to get an item number back using this model with the button, because they may not click return to our site.
Are you sure that just really surprises me? Because how?
Well, it surprises me a little bit as well, but there's. I mean, this is why I tend to rely less on documentation and more on how does the system actually work. I mean, the description of this.
If you're sure, that don't just say yes, no, I won't bother you about it.
Well, I have to say though, I'm not sure about anything. I mean, I'm an ultimate subjectivist. I'm not sure the universe exists or my name is Sam. These are all things potentially to be debated, of course, which drives everybody nuts. But hold on, let me take a layer off. But it's sort of.
I wasn't paying attention good enough for me to be sure, but if you're pretty sure.
Well, I mean, I think what I have is I have significant doubt that this will, come back often enough. Like if we just run this test, and we've done this both in the sandbox and the the main system, if we'd just done it and either one of them had actually done in particular the live one, had done the redirect automatically without me having to click a button, I'd be like, okay, right, but it's certainly worth, implementing these changes. And so
the network tab before you hit the redirect button, then there's a chance you might see that item number there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've also got there's another thing. There's this notify URL, which is, like does a different thing.
That could be it, because it does say that if you want to do this, you should familiarize yourself with.
I mean, this one here.
Hello, Sam.
Go on, Michael.
So I'm looking on GitHub, and someone's saying that if you want that auto redirect, you need to turn on auto return in your PayPal profile.
Oh, really? That's very interesting.
The individual user or Sam?
Sam does.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah. Okay. That makes. Oh, God, I'll just close.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's really accurate, but it looks like they're using the form that we're using.
Okay.
This was in that context.
Okay.
Under my account.
Right. So I'm in my account in this.
There should be an account overview, and there should be something saying website payment preferences. Here, let me send you the.
Yeah.
This is kind of older, but.
Right. We've encountered some very odd things in the.
There you go.
Profile. Business setup, profile and settings. Anyhow, we are my account settings. Are you saying? Where's the link on?
If you look at the picture.
Yeah.
The payment. I don't see.
Yeah, right. That okay. Okay. But and it's Scrum time. So well that's promising.
Can you find that or?
Well, like this I mean the funny thing they've updated their look at all tools.
It's a
I'm
two-year-old.
not immediately finding it in the it's funny like oh, this was the view that we had in this test sandbox, but not that they've changed it in the live system. Anyway, it's time for the Scrum. So let's I'm gonna drop well I guess I'm gonna leave that hangout running and try and run a second hangout in the background for doing the Scrum. That would be kind of insane, but we want to kind of let's try it. Let's try it. We don't know until it's
discuss it while you're we can't do anything.
well you guys can like I'm kind of like leaving what I'm planning to do is sort of leave this hangout running and open a second hangout like here for other people who want to do the hangout thing. Oh, go on. Oh. Firefox.
Where's that link, Michael? I don't see it because I could read.
Yeah, it was Michael put it in Slack.
Oh, I'll put it in G-Chat.
Okay. What would be really nice with Hangouts would be a way to kind of like make it an existing Hangout be the Scrum, and then to not have to like move backwards and forwards from rooms. So, sort of doing this in principle, if you guys want to, I guess I don't know if you'll be picked up in the Scrum recording. I mean, you don't care if you are or not, but feel free to leave that room and come back out into this room if you want or not. Here we go. Okay. So anyway, that's the Scrum environment there. And we can give people a moment to come into that one if they want to. The
auto return for website payments.
So my customers
for that, you might.
In your PayPal profile. So I've got, it does say profile, business setup, account setup. It
mentions my selling tools. I don't know if that's...
So Matt, can you hear Michael in the other Hangout? Yeah, so Matt, I think if you want to join the Scrum, you might need to drop out of that Hangout and come into the Scrum, and then we can all talk there. And then jumping backwards and forwards. My selling preferences. Anyway, let's do the. Oh, let me come into this Hangout, which is here. Right. Okay. So here we are. Goodness me. Okay. So, and then, right. So, and we're live. It is the Kent Beck, probably. Yes. And I'm doing a kind of a dangerous double hangout thing here because all the timing is getting funny. Let me give my update. Is yeah, spent some time working on this PayPal thing where we've got blocked by the apparent lack of auto redirect on the button form, but Michael has found something that might help us with that. Yeah, hoping to carry on working on that after this. Oh, and Marianne's here. Marianne, yay! Let's go on to Michael, since you're first in. Yeah, Michael, how are things going with you? What's your update? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So you had a block about trying to save the code back to the. I didn't quite understand. Right. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. Uh-huh. Mm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. The bot kick or bot mock. Right. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, what you said. I mean, I think this issue that we've had the same thing in async voter with using QCode.js. This issue of splitting the thing over multiple files seems to be a particular problem with doing Cucumber.js or doing Cucumber in JavaScript. That particular difficulty that you've described as having, I think I understand what you're saying. I have maybe encountered something similar in getting botmock to work. I know that was there was a combination of callbacks and promises where like the callbacks that they couldn't be combined. Then I had to remove the callbacks and rely only on the promises. But then that's I'm not sure if they're a similar thing. Yeah, there's yeah yeah. We yeah. I mean the particular thing that we've had is that botmock has uses the ES6, which I don't know that we're necessarily ready for. So there's yeah. I mean we'll that's definitely something to dive in. It certainly sounds worth using Cucumber.js. There may be other things to look at. Let's go on with the Scrum. It's a you know great that you've been able to get to that point and see that as a block, and we'll have to try and figure around it. Let's go to Matt. Matt, any updates from you? Any further thoughts? Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. I think probably as I grapple with the other things that are going on, particularly if yeah, it feels like we should maybe have a Redeemify focused meeting, maybe tomorrow, and like get down and maybe generate more user stories and whatever, like to allow more people to work on and so on. Fantastic, fantastic, great. Excellent. Thank you, Matt. And Marilyn is here. Marilyn, how good to see you. How are things going with you? Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Great update. Yeah, and I saw the email to the Do It folks, and hopefully they will respond and we will make progress. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I will try and review everything on local support tomorrow. And is there anything that I need to do to help you, or it's kind of we're just waiting for Do It to come back to us at the moment? Oh yeah, yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, and I'm very pleased with your to see the yeah, very pleased to see you taking the initiative on that, and absolutely, I'll follow up with him maybe tomorrow if we don't hear back from them. Yeah, fantastic, great stuff. Very good to see you, Marion. Great to have you in the hangout. So that's our Scrum. I guess we've basically got these two blocks. One on the doing the high level cucumber testing on the async bots, and the other one on trying to get this thing working with, oh god, what's it called? It is called on the website one with the PayPal. Although I think we have a lead on that if we can navigate through the PayPal config options. I guess so. And Aresh has gone off, and I guess he's not available for any more pairing today. Is that right, Michael? Michael is muted. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. But I think, it would be nice to make a breakthrough on both of those things. Probably we should focus on one at a time. Yeah, trying out computer. It's frustrating that the cucumber is so difficult in JavaScript. The thing that I'm wondering about the PayPal issue is I'm wondering if the thing before you found that issue that maybe there's a setting that will let us do the auto redirect. I'm wondering if there is some way to, or if is the ability to return the element that important. Like actually maybe the simpler solution is just to not to necessarily know who the PayPal person who's paying by PayPal, if they're sponsoring somebody in particular, is just to know whether it's a sponsorship or not. Like in the first instance, the critical thing is to provide the functionality so that if I'm well, I was thinking that what we can do and what does show up in the, let me do the screen share. Yeah, so what we can, right, we could have two, to precisely this, we've got like item name, like, so we saw when we do, if we change item name to something, that actually changes like what PayPal stores. So if the item name was like, premium, subscription versus like premium sponsorship, right? Then we would, independently of getting anything back on the end, I mean, we'd still want, like, ultimately for automation at the highest level, we would like it to auto redirect and come through, because that reduces the amount of sort of like manual updates that I have to make when we actually get PayPal subscriptions. Of course, what we don't know is, are we ever going to get to hundreds of people using PayPal, or are they all going to prefer to use credit card? And so, I mean, it feels like if we can find that auto redirect setting and switch it on like within 15 minutes, then that's probably worth doing. Whereas if we can't, then kind of tying ourselves in knot to get this item number come back is probably not worth it. And we can just have the thing switch on the item name, and then we can actually roll out the functionality of, if somebody's on, not this page, but they're on an individual, can I just quickly go to but anyway, on an individual user's page, and then we can just have a suppose. Go on, Michael. Right. Exactly. And then we would, because that's the critical distinction. It's like, we can always reach out to the user and say, oh, sorry, who were the people that you wanted to? I mean, it's not very professional, in the long run, but in the short term, because this is like a trial run with one person, and they'll be happy to tell me who it is. So if we're able to actively distinguish between those two, then that's going to work well. Okay, well, I think that's our Scrum. So we have there actually still got the previous Scrum, not the Scrum, previous Hangout session is still running. So Matt and Michael, maybe I'll see you there. Maren, of course, you're more than happy to watch and join, but I'll follow up with you tomorrow about local support. That's our Scrum. And anything else that we need to do in Scrum? That sounds like a no. Great Scrum, guys. And yeah, see you in the other Hangout. Bye for now. Bye, Maren. Okay. Right, great. So you guys have found your way back into there. I just got the new guy asking me about how does Adventures work, which is a great question. And I think what I'm going to do is just send him a link to the oh god, and that's it's 4 p.m.
Step by step. So I think he'll be okay once he gets a few.
Yes, yeah. Oh, and I've just had the sponsor telling me it's 4 p.m. I thought it was 4:30. Oh, rats. Car. That's like, I'll just ask Kinesh, have you listened to me in this podcast? Okay.
Their Wiki EDU project going, just kind of.
Yeah, they seem to be doing the waffle board, getting stuff on. Catch. But let me just negotiate with the sponsor. Okay.
So what are they saying? They need to meet now, or?
Yeah, I think we already had 4 p.m. in the day. Well, anyway, so actually, I guess the sensible thing to do there, if they're ready to go, is I should go and just talk to them. It shouldn't take more than 20 minutes, and then we can have like a proper hour rather than like 20 minutes now. So,
all right.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll stop this this one, and I'll be back. I mean, you guys feel free to make hangouts and work and do whatever, have fun with whatever. Otherwise, probably in about 40 minutes after I've made a cup of tea, then I'll be back, and we can probably do about an hour on this. Okay, bye for now.